Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm the audiologist here at Audiology Associates. We upload new earwax removal videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 PM UK time, so please consider subscribing. Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our earwax removal video today. What you can see with this patient, they've come through with a very thin layer of wax that seems to be coating the entire canal wall and the eardrum itself. The most common reason for this is usually when people have used some kind of wax softening drop that hasn't really been that effective. So it's actually softened the wax, causing it to become a very thin liquid, which is then dried again on the canal walls, forming this harder layer. So what we have to do here is peel, as you can see here, off the canal wall. First of all, we're just using the standard size Zollner tube to do this. Always a little bit more cautious when we have to do a peel close to the canal wall, just because it is such a sensitive part of the ear. So you always try and stay slightly away if you can, just hover just above the skin of the canal wall there, just to lift the wax away. But as you can see, this wax is very thin and has become very sticky. So we're just trying to find any lift. So anywhere the wax has started to peel away already, then we just work along that there. And you can see here, lifting away, trying to peel as much of this away as we can. Now what we've done now, we've reached a little ridge which is just in front of the eardrum, which is always going to be difficult to peel around. Okay, so I'm going to snap it off at that ledge there, because at the moment when I take a look, you can see all around the top of the canal wall there, not so much now at the bottom but to the right side, all that thin layer of wax. Also, when you look at the eardrum itself has a very dull sheen, but not the kind of dullness we normally see with, say, fluid behind the eardrum, or if the eardrum's not sitting in its normal position. The eardrum itself looks as though it's covered in something which is causing this dull look. So as you can see, we've managed to get a peel now on the top portion, so the attic portion of the canal there. Because it's a long lift, I'm going to struggle to get a peel, so I'm going to pull on it now with the crocodile forceps just to try and get a grip on this outside edge here. We've got to be quite gentle here peeling away, but you can see it's all starting to peel along that left canal wall a little bit there now. Just trying to get some of this out of the way. You need to shorten the length of this peel. If I'm going to peel down the eardrum, you see, we can only peel from top to bottom in the actual canal itself. So you can see just pulling there a little bit. There we go. It's got that left side clear. Now you can see where it's been stuck to the eardrum. So we have to make it shorter to be able to get a peel. So I'm just trying to see if we can get a peel here. Let's give it a pull. Now I see it's quite firmly attached to the back of the eardrum there. So I've introduced a little bit of olive oil. It's going to help to soften the layer of wax there, but it's also going to help to get behind the layer of wax as well. So get it almost like a layer that stops the wax from binding to the drum quite as much. It would do the same with the canal walls as well when we have very sticky wax. So it just helps if you try and move that piece of wax, then what happens then, it gets behind it and sits there and stops it from re-sticking and reattaching to the skin. So just gently working on this. These pieces here are just so paper thin, and we don't want to cause any bleeding in the canal, so by digging this into the canal, because you can, if you're not careful and you go a little bit too gung-ho, then what you can do is you can actually start to dig the edge of the Zollner tube into the skin, sorry, the canal wall, and because it is so thin, you'll end up popping the blood vessels underneath there and just cause a bleed in there. Not too problematic if it does happen. In the majority of cases it stops bleeding quite quickly, but obviously not too comfortable for the patient. So we've got the peel here. You can see it's now we've managed to work the olive oil in there. You can see that it's starting to get behind this piece of skin and wax now on the actual eardrum itself. Just peeling along from that left side. You can see it lifting there, look, from the top of the eardrum. So now we're working from the top section down, because it's going to be easier sometimes to peel from the top here down and across to the right side. Now what I've got here is quite a thick piece of wax just pulling that down. This is going to mean if I'm just pulling it, I'm not trying to peel it off the drum at the moment. What I'm trying to do is pull this top section down enough to just start to peel, and then I can go in with a forceps then to grab it. And as we grab this thicker section, so we can get a good grip, it's thicker, watch. There it is. So it all comes out. The whole thing just peels off in one big chunk. Now there's the eardrum underneath. Got a couple of straggly bits here. Not going to cause really any problems, but I just want to get rid of this one sticky up piece here. There you go. The rest of this is just so thin. It's not going to cause any problems. So there we are. There's the eardrum. So this is what we removed. See the section there, about 1.5 centimeters. That's the piece that came off the eardrum. And there it is in inches. So this is the second patient in the compilation. This patient's come through just a feeling of fullness in the ear, especially when they've been asleep and woken up in the morning. The ear feels quite sticky and full, and it takes a little while for that sensation to go. So what we have is some very, very thick toffee-like wax, so very sticky, a thick, stretchy type of wax in here. So I'm just starting off with the standard size Zollner tube here. Just got a little bit of the canal cartilage. Let's get rid of that. Standard size Zollner tube here, but you can see we've got a good grip on this section, but it is tough as old boots. It doesn't want to budge. So the Jobson horn is going to come into play here. We're just going to try and press down from the top section and touch this very thick, sticky piece of wax here. So we're pushing down from the top, but you can see that there's a whole layer of dry skin behind this. So not really budging. You can see that whole layer of dry skin where it's collapsed. You can see where the patients were having difficulty when they lay on this, because the two sides of the canal would stick together. The two pieces of sticky wax on both canal walls, sorry, I should say, will stick together. So because it's so hard, I'm going to try with the crocodile forceps. So I'm going to try and get a good grip on here. As I pull out, you'll see me making little, very small up and down movements. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to tease the wax out in one piece if we can. You can see it's just broken away there. There wasn't quite enough strength to that wax there. So I'm going to aim for the harder piece at the bottom, the bigger piece. Try to get a really good grip on here again. There you go. See that gentle up and down movement? There we are. Now we're starting to see it moving. You can see the whole thing starting to come away. Watch behind it now. There. Can you see that? And just go back on the screen. There we are. See that long ribbons coming away in there? Look, behind it. So long. There we go. Dry skin ribbon. Now it's snapped away, so we just need to get the next section. You can see all the striations in the skin there. Look. This is peeling off the canal wall. There we are. That's peeled away. You can see the eardrum there. You can see where it was attached. Look, see to the right side there as well. So I'm just going to, there's one little piece that's just kind of sticking out a little bit. I just want to see if we can get a grip on this. Let's try and take that piece away. There we go. Oh. Just try and grab him. The reason I don't want to do a pull on this piece here, it's a bit like if you get a pull anywhere else of skin on your body. You can see it kind of terminates there, just to the right side. So if we carry on pulling that, I think what would happen is that would just pull all the way along the canal wall. So what you end up with then is it's going to pull into the fresh, newer skin that's still quite firmly attached, and then you're going to get a bleed. So this is the same patient but the second ear. So what we have here is a whole blob of wax, a real nice big chunky thick sticky piece here. Still that very that sort of toffee consistency in there again, so really stretchy sticky stuff. So just aiming for the top, pushing down into it. You'll see as we're pushing into it, the outer section is tough as old boots, but when you get into the section behind then, it's that little bit more sticky and malleable. There we are, just pulling this front section forward. So normally in a kind of less sticky piece of wax, that getting hold of that front section would have pulled the whole thing out. But because we've got this more kind of squishy, sticky kind of wax in there, it's just bent the whole front section forwards, but still stayed attached. I'm not holding much hope to get this out with the crocodile forceps, but we had to try. So you can see a gap's formed at the top there, so we're going to aim for the gap, pull down, just getting behind it again. You can see we're not too deep in the canal now, so we can get a good, we're able to get right behind that wax. There we go, pulling from the left side, that's starting to draw the wax out. Now it's all starting to move, it's coming away really nicely. Here we go, almost behind it again. This should be the last pull for this wax. On its way, bending it out and around the last bend. There you go. You can actually see a layer of dry skin that was formed at the back of that as well. And there we are, there's the eardrum on that side, all looking nice and healthy. So you can see the ribbon, look, it went from 1 centimetre all the way over to 3.5, so about 2.5 centimetres long, that pull. So a long pull of dry skin there, and the plug on the other side there. Thank you very much for watching our video today. If you did enjoy the video, then please like. If you're not subscribed already or you'd like to do so, you can click the subscribe button here. If you'd like to check out some more of our videos, they're also up there. Now, if you want to follow us, you can do on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also check our website if you want to know a little bit more about us. As always, guys, until the next time, take care.